Welcome to the Thundercloud. We've got a pretty good show lined up for you. At least I like to think so, but who the fuck knows? Before we get started, I need to make sure my wrench is here. I've been causing a bit of a stir on Twitter, and I don't want to be without my wrench. So I need my wrench to identify himself before we proceed. Wrench, are you out there? Are you out there, Platinum Wrench? At the Platinum Wrench on Twitter. Well, it seems like my main honcho potentially has decided to skip out on the biggest day of December. He just is a no-show. Much like Nathan used to be when we were streaming Indie Game Cloud. Just doesn't bother to show, or wants to show up extremely late, wants to blah blah blah. And you know, that's not how you get a platinum wrench. That's how you lose a platinum wrench. Alright, I'm sorry. You were not contributing to the chat rate, so I had to ask the question. I do apologize for asking questions. You kind of remind me of those fucking Twitter morons right now, Sage. And if those Twitter morons fucking show up, you gotta wrench them before you trench them. Because you know what? When I'm doing battle, I had a good day, Sage. I felt good. I woke up. I started looking around at the fucking moves that were being made, and I felt good. I thought this was gonna be one for the Guinness books. It was not. It was not one for the Guinness books. We had some big news. We'll go over it really shortly. But, and getting into wars on Twitter, like, I had one Dodgers fan. I had one Dodger, so you chuck it right at their fucking face. You chuck that wrench real good. Real good. Right into their fucking trachea. Then you trench them. Now, you might need a shovel to go along with that wrench if you're going to be trenching them at the same time. But anyways, it's like, I got this Dodgers fan trolling me, and I'm like, okay, you're not a good troll. Like, the Dodgers always get what they want. Well, how come they didn't get what they wanted between 1985 and 2020? So, okay, move off of it a little bit. You don't always get what you want. And then I had some guys tell me, oh yeah, there's... So I was told I was wrong. I was like, the Orioles are not signing Kyle Tucker. So that's what I was saying. The Orioles will not sign Kyle Tucker. And guess what? The Orioles are not going to resign. They're not going to sign Kyle Tucker. Just because they threw $150 million towards Kyle Schwarber, it's not the same commitment of Kyle Tucker, $300 to $400 million, especially if they're trying to acquire Framber Valdez and other assets. Their big need is at pitching. I get they want to add a bat. Well, go sign the fucking polar bear. Go sign Pete Alonso. There's no need to fucking sign fucking Kyle Tucker. It makes no sense. They're not gonna pony up that cash. And then I asked the same question to the city. I was like, well, do you know that the Pirates offered 4 years, 125? So they offered more annual salary per year. Do you think he was gonna sign there? Do you think that means Kyle Tucker's gonna sign there? He's like, well, it's a little different. And so I was like, yeah, the difference is the Pirates have good pitching and the Orioles don't. So I was just being a little smart there. I was just hitting up my cadence, just beating this little bitch down to the ground. I think his name was Joseph or some shit. Love it. I would love it if some of these people showed up here, because I'd love live to just put everyone in their fucking place, slow your roll, and get the fuck out of here with a wrench in your fucking face before you get thrown in the trench. But like some of these people, it's like, you're wrong. How am I wrong? And then I got this Ernie Clement fan. So I had an Ernie Clement fan. You got to promo the channel after every war. I think so. Actually, after the stream, we'll have a few words, Sage, because I think I've got a bit of an idea that you can help me with, just a little bit. Probably 2 ideas. Before I have another breath, I do need to take a drink of Busch Max Ice, 8% Strong Beer, the unofficial sponsor of the Real Thundercloud. And it's smooth too. It's smooth going. Anyways, what were we saying? What were we saying, Sage? Before I had my drink, what were we saying? Don't make me have to go back and read my fucking notifications. Actually, I'll go back. I'll go back a little bit. Yeah, Shitler Enjoyer at Shitlin Joyer. You were a fucking idiot. Lucas, the Mets fan, you were all right. Ernie Clement. The Ernie Clement. So they asked me to grade Ernie Clement as a hitter, or not as a hitter, as a player. So I last night, I gave a prognosis, a diagnosis, whatever you want to say. I said, okay, Ernie Clement, to me, is an A or an A-plus defender, which he is. He should have won the Gold Glove as a utility player this year, okay? So I think I'm doing pretty nice. I'm being pretty nice there. I'm saying he's an A or an A-plus. To get an A or an A-plus from me, you know that's fucking hard. Now, as a hitter, I gave him a C or a C-plus grade. And the guy came at me, I was like, he's a B. He's a B. He did good in the playoffs, and he's a utility player. And I'm just like, okay. Last year, Ernie Clement had a 711 OPS. The league average, regardless of position, is 700. The year before that, he had a 692 OPS. Okay? That's below average as a hitter for every position combined. I get he's a middle infielder. I don't give a shit. Also, he did play a little bit of third base as well. Third base tend to need a little bit more uptick in their fucking OPS. And finally, I said he's got a 671 OPS in his career. Okay. So don't tell me Ernie Clement is better. I could have given him a D grade or a D plus fucking grade, technically speaking. If the league average is 700 and your best year is 711, we're not counting the fucking playoffs, because why would we count the fucking playoffs? It makes no sense to count the playoffs. It's a small sample size. He's a platoon player. I like Ernie Clement. I think he was a nice find. But let's not fucking get too crazy here. It's the same shit we dealt with, except Ernie's better, when we had fucking Ryan Goins. Everyone thought Ryan Goins was the fucking bee's knees. Well, guess what? Ryan Goins fucking sucked. Not saying that about Ernie. Not saying that about Ernie. And I'm not saying that about Ernie. But I'm saying, fuck off. Judge objectively. We can objectively, mark players. You want to mark a player? I'll mark Vladimir Guerrero right now. I'll say Vladimir Guerrero last year as a hitter was not an A hitter. Absolutely not an A hitter. I would say he was a B plus hitter. So if Vladimir Guerrero is a B plus hitter, me calling Ernie Clement a B or a C or a C plus, that's actually a fucking compliment. No? Do you know who a fucking F hitter or a D minus hitter is? Andres Jimenez. Because he had a fucking 609 OPS. So I'd call that an F. You got to look at the stats, man. If 700's the average, I don't care what position you play. As a hitter, that's what you hit. Cal Raleigh is a hitter that is a catcher. He hit 50 home runs or more last year, okay? He's going to get an A something grade, regardless of his position. That's the fucking point. Anyways, Sage, did I stretch that on too long? Do we need to move off these Twitter punks that won't dare come to the thundercloud? They won't throw down with me. They won't throw down with the wrench yourself. Will they? These people aren't going to come here. They're too scared. And you know what? I'm on another rant right now, man. I'm on another rant. I am so sick. I am sick and tired of all these people like Blue Jays Today. Fuck you, Blue Jays Today. Oh yeah, go comb your fucking hair, put some fucking gel in it, and try to hype up stories that don't exist. I hate places like this. I hate places that are just trying to sensationalize nothing, throw out short videos to try to get clickbait. Maybe that's what we need to do. Just put out fucking 50-second videos of bullshit every fucking day, and then we'll get fucking views. Rather than come in and listen to fucking content that is beyond their fucking years and beyond their fucking talent. I'm sick of these fucking pretty boys. They can shut the fuck up, slow their roll. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's all I hear from them. That's all I fucking hear. And I'm sick of it. Sage, I'm fucking serious. This offseason, we're taking over MLB baseball. I don't care who stands in my way. If it's Ken Rosenthal, guess what? He's got a gooseneck right now, and I'll put him in a fucking trachea hold. Sons of bitches. Today was supposed to be a good day. It was supposed to be Kyle Tucker and Robert Suarez signing. We were supposed to celebrate, and we never got that fucking chance. Do you know what's funny, though? I'll be honest with you right now. I woke up today and I was like, holy fuck. Kyle Schwarber. Holy fuck. Edwin Diaz. Seriously. I was like, man, this was so much. I think you could ask Corpse Doe. I was like, I'm bringing out the notepad. So I actually, Sage, was working on a notepad to start the day. For all like the rumors, the trades, in order to keep up. Because today was a day, man. Today was a day. It started as a day, and then it slowed the fuck down for like 7 hours. I don't think there's been anything major going on, but it started out crazy. Let's actually get to what happened as soon as we take a sip of the smoothest 8% beer known to fucking God's green earth, the Bush Max Ice. God, we love what you do. And damn, it's smooth. Damn. All right. First things first, let's get rid of some of the football news that we need to get out of the way. We need to get rid of the fact that Phillip Rivers has been signed to the practice squad of the Indianapolis Colts. Phillip Rivers, 44 years old, father of 10, has not been spotted in the NFL since 2020. He was slow then. He was slow his entire career. His arm talent did not look great at the end. He was not able to throw the ball, at least he was never a big thrower, but he would throw the ball down the field. But this is one of the most humiliating signings ever. Phillip Rivers was due to be eligible for the Hall of Fame, I think, if not this year, the year after. So now that clock resets. He has to wait another 5 years, assuming he doesn't come back as starter for the Colts next year. I love Phillip Rivers. I mean, I get he wants to play, but man, you're going to be playing some fucking bangers to end the season. You just should have stayed retired, man, because, like, you're probably going to throw like fucking 12 or 13 interceptions in the next 4 games. I love you, Phillip. Always loved you, Phillip Rivers. I thought if your team was good in 2008, you should have been the MVP over Peyton Manning. But, God, Phillip, what the fuck are you doing, man? What the fuck are you doing? Is he in trouble financially because he's got 10 kids? Did him and his wife divorce and now he can't keep up with the child support? Like, what? What is going on right? No, Phillip! Don't come back and throw a goddamn 67 rating like Justin Fields, please. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Anyways, love you, Phillip. Good luck. I feel like the Colts are going to lose the last 4 games of the season. They've got a tough schedule ahead. Sage, let's not talk about Phillip Rivers post 40. Let's talk about Phillip Rivers pre-40, okay? And we can reminisce in the San Diego Chargers days when they had Antonio Gates and LaDainian Tomlinson, and life was beautiful back then. Remember? Those were the days. Let's not think about shitty-ass Jonathan Taylor and fucking all this other bullshit on the goddamn call. Shane Steichen, you fucking sick fuck. You pushed for this, you son of a bitch. I know it. Fucking son of a bitch. Anyways, we've got... This is one of the things I was talking about for Blue Jays today, hyping it up. Oh. Bo Bichette had a Zoom meeting yesterday with the Red Sox, as per Ari Alexander. I don't give a fuck, man. It's too early in the offseason. I'm also hearing reports that they don't like where his contract status currently is, where his value is. So I don't care if Bo Bichette has a meeting with the Red Sox. If he joins the Red Sox, do you know what's going to happen? He's going to join a team that has terrible defense, and that'll fit right in with how bad his defense is as a shortstop. Anyways, back to some Blue Jays news. We did introduce Dylan Cease as a Blue Jay today. And Dylan Cease, the interesting part, he interviewed with all 30 MLB teams. Very interesting. And he told Scott Boras that he find a way to sign with the Jays. That's actually pretty interesting to me. There was a time there, especially through J.P. Ricciardi, and I think Alex Anthopoulos as well, where we viewed, Scott Boras as the agent that we wouldn't deal with because he charged too much. He is definitely the best agent in baseball, and he definitely does command the most money, but he also has the best players. So, to me, that's just kind of a cool swing here. And I think it's cool that he just said, I want to win a championship. And that was the team that he legitimately picked, according to what he says. Maybe he's lying. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's pretty cool. Dylan Cease, too, did give high praise to Pete Walker. So Pete Walker has been with the Jays, well, he's our pitching dude, right? Our pitching coach. But he was even with the Jays back in the early 2000s as a relief pitcher. I remember watching him. Had a bit of a sinker on him, that sort of thing. They gave him high respect, and I think Pete Walker can help Dylan Cease take that turn to the next level. He's done it with other pitchers. I do believe he can help Dylan Cease. I'm not saying get to Cy Young for him, but I mean, you never know. He has had Cy Young votes in the past, so we'll see what happens. And as I said last night, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays were closing in on a deal with Steven Matz. Well, it looks like they got a good value here. I don't know if there is any incentives thrown on this deal. I don't think there is, but it looks like, I don't know if it's a 2-year deal. Yeah, I think it's a 2-year deal worth $7.5 million. And he had a 3.05 ERA across 76 innings last year. This was his first year as a reliever. He is a left-handed pitcher as well, so that does add value. The fact that he's a lefty, can pitch multiple innings, has been a starter, that sort of thing. It looks like Tampa Bay has built a pretty good bullpen. They've got Steven Matz, Edwin Diaz, Griffin Jacks, and Garrett Clevenger, and they're believed to be a closer by committee there. And sticking with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, because I'm not like these bitches out in Toronto. I'm not like these bitches. I'll cover everything, man. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck at all. Anyways, Shane Baz from Tampa Bay is rumored to be going to the Astros. He had a 4.87 last year, a 4.25 ERA career. He's kind of a depth piece. Did have a 3.06 ERA in 2024, but the FIP of 407 should suggest that it was a fluke. So, that's not going to offset Framber Valdez leaving 100%. They'll still need to add someone else. So, we got a couple of the little news out of the way. Let's get the big news out of the way here. So, you got Kyle Schwarber staying with the Philadelphia Phillies on a 5-year, $150 million deal. He had 56 home runs last year, a 928 OPS for his career. He's got an 846 career OPS. And this, to me, sounds an awful lot like a guy who will be a shagwire in the future. He's got all the markings of being a shagwire in our fantasy league. So I look for Sage to draft him in the draft this year. Big power, low average, good on base percentage. Was there any doubt that he was going to leave Philly? Like, this to me just seemed like a no brainer, like a slam dunk, and it was a slam dunk. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the Orioles offered $150 million. The Pirates offered 125 over a 4-year deal. So some of these teams are motivated to do some things. Sticking with the Phillies, Rob Thompson, their manager, was also extended through 2027. Makes sense to me. They've been pretty damn good the last few years there. This one here, I wouldn't say it hurts the Jays. It is one less option for the Blue Jays. That being Edwin Diaz agreeing to a 3-year, $69 million to sign with the LA Dodgers. That does set the record for annual salary for a reliever. The previous was 20.4, set by Edwin Diaz. Last year he had a 1.63 ERA, a 2.28 FIP, strikeouts 13.3 per 9, 2.8 walks per 9 for his career. He's a 2.82 ERA, 14.5 strikeouts per 9, 3.2 walks per 9, and an FIP, which doesn't mean a whole lot because it's for a career, of 2.56. So I will say the Dodgers desperately needed to add a reliever. This is definitely a good ad. You can obviously say it's probably the best ad out there. To me, this means look for the Blue Jays to sign either Robert Suarez or Pete Fairbanks. I really think they will sign one or the other. If they don't, then they're going to have to get creative on the trade market, at least in my opinion. But, it's nice. We're seeing things happen. Kyle Schwarber fell off today. Kyle Schwarber was the big domino to come off. And with him coming off, we're definitely going to see guys like Cody Bellinger, Kyle Tucker, some trades for outfielders as well come to fruition. We had a small trade. You had Vaughn Grissom, son of Marquise Grissom, who was great. Vaughn's not so good. Career 654 OPS being flipped to the Boston Red Sox. He has a 654 career OPS. His first year was good in limited at-bats, and by limited I mean 141. 792 OPS that year. It appears his health is the one big thing holding him back. The White Sox did win the lottery. They will be the first overall pick in the 2026 MLB draft. We do have the Mariners pursuing a reunion with Jorge Polanco. He scared the shit out of me last year in the playoffs. Great little switch hitter. Great power from the left side. He's 32 years old, looking for a 4-year deal. A lot of people aren't going to want to do that. To me, he's going to end up back in Seattle. So we'll see if it happens, but I kind of think it's going to. The Pirates made an offer on Kyle Schwarber. They also made an offer to left-handed reliever Gregory Soto and reached an agreement on a 1-year, $7.75 million deal for his career. He's a 4.26 ERA. Last year, 4.18 ERA. He's got pretty good strikeout ability. He walks guys. That's probably his thing. Got a big arm. The thing is, though, is like for Pittsburgh, it's a 1-year deal. So you just picked up an asset. If you're not in the playoffs, which they most likely won't be, then you just go ahead and you deal him at the deadline. You get some compensation for him. So I guess a pretty wise move by Pittsburgh, who looks to be active this year, which, well, their fucking owner is fucking, frugal. Let's put it that way. So they should be a bit more active. Their fans deserve a better owner than he's been. The other thing here, you've got the Marlins potentially talking trade with the Baltimore Orioles, which would see Edward Cabrera going to the Orioles. Now, this makes sense to me, whereas Kyle Tucker going to Baltimore does not make sense to me. Baltimore's pitching is shit. They've got great position players. They need to start stacking pitching in the bullpen and also relievers as well. So this trade would make sense. He's at a 4.07 career ERA. Last year, big year, 3.53 ERA. The good thing about picking up a player like this in Edward Cabrera is he does have control. So you would have him through 2028 before he becomes a free agent. So to me, that's worthy of picking him up, because if you got to sign these motherfuckers, obviously you're going to pay a fucking boatload. You know what I mean? We got some Boston, a little bit more Boston Red Sox shit going on. And maybe this is because they didn't like Bo Bichette on the Zoom call. Who the fuck knows? I don't fucking know shit. Anyways, Red Sox are trying to pick up infielders. Of those being rumored are Ketel Marte, Corey Seager, Isaac Paredes, and Brendan Donovan. Now, I don't necessarily think Isaac Paredes is going to be one that gets traded. Ketel Marte seems like one, if you're going to pay the piper, they'll talk shop with you. The Diamondbacks will trade him. Corey Seager, I don't see Corey Seager. He hasn't been in any rumors this year, so that's the one interesting one out there. I don't really see Corey Seager going anywhere. I could be wrong, but I really just don't. I just don't think that's happening. And also Brendan Donovan. So Brendan Donovan wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Isaac Paredes I don't think is that good personally, but if I'm the Red Sox, I'd probably be going more after Brendan Donovan than anyone. He's cheaper, he's younger. You're not going to have to give up as much. Ketel Marte is going to cost you a fortune, and he's 32 years old. He is under contract till he's 37, though, I believe. So, you know, if you're okay with eating one or two bad years at the end, most likely, then Ketel Marte makes sense. Corey Seager, I mean, you're going to have to blow him away. Isaac Paredes, I just don't think he's good enough. And Brendan Donovan, I love him. I love Brendan Donovan. And finally, sticking with Ketel Marte, it appears the market is heating up. Among those interested in Ketel Marte, which would require a trade, not a signing, the Red Sox, Mariners, Blue Jays, possibly Phillies, and Tampa Bay Rays are all interested in him. Now, the D-backs are asking for a lot, so I'll say the Jays aren't going to pick him up. I'll cross him off the list right now because I think it's bullshit. I think the Mariners could be involved because they do have Jorge Polanco, who's a free agent, so you would actually upgrade. You're going to have to give up some good prospects, but I think the Mariners will be involved. I think the Red Sox will be involved. I'm really not so sure. I don't think the Devil Rays will be involved, so I'll cross them off the list. The Phillies, I don't know enough, so I'll keep them on the list. So I'd say, yeah, Red Sox, Mariners, Phillies make sense. I do not think Blue Jays or Rays make sense whatsoever. I'm going to quickly go back to Roto World, just in case there was a move that was made. While I'm doing that, I will let you know that the Raptors are rumored to have interest in Anthony Davis. I do not necessarily want Anthony Davis. He's very injury prone. When he plays, he's great. He's missed like 230 games in his career. So I'm really not that interested. So let's just leave it at that. It looks like baseball for today is done. Again, make sure you tell these bitches on Twitter to fuck off. Hit them with a wrench. Throw them in the trench. You know, they got to stay in their lane. They got to stay in their lane. This is what we do. We educate people. Either, you know, they'll listen or we show them tough fucking love. Right, Sage? That's why you are the platinum blonde. Fuck. Retake. That is why you are the platinum wrench. Yeah? That is why. And that is why we're going to call the stream here, because I think if we keep talking, I'm going to end up with another lawsuit. And I do not want that. At least not tonight. So guys, we will be back at it tomorrow. I hope we've got some big motherfucking news. Hopefully Kyle Tucker's a Blue Jay. Hopefully Robert Suarez or Pete Fairbanks is a Blue Jay. And we'll take care of business. Oh shit, Sage, you're right. Time out. Sage is right. God damn it. I got fucking bullheaded. I got so fucking crossed up with these fucking trolls that I forgot. I forgot. These fucking trolls, Sage, they're seeping into my fucking brain. We need to go over the playoff matchup here. First and foremost, we would like to congratulate Patchwork Pigskins, rookie, definitely going to get Rookie of the Year as a GM, finishing 10-4, first place, as someone who professes that they do not watch football. It's disappointing. It's extremely disappointing that someone that doesn't watch football is our leader, but it did happen. So they get a week off in Cancun. Sage gets a week off in fucking Fiji because he's the number 2 seed. So he gets a bye as well with a mere 9-5 record, which should be 8-6 because of the David Montgomery fiasco, which happened in week 3. With our first round of the 2025 OJ Juicery Bowl, we have fourth quarter Steven, 6-8, on the road again against Deflate These Balls, the 3 seed, 8-6. This to me is the matchup of the week. This to me is the bee's knees. We can feel Joe Burrow coming out in the air tonight, and we're going to win it. I guarantee a fucking win. And that'll be a huge upset. And then the week after that, we'll beat Pigskins. We don't have any problem beating any Pigskins. Anyways, let's not get ahead of ourselves. That's just what I think. I really do believe in this team. I believe this is going to be a hard-hitting affair. I'm going to project a 310 to 303 win for myself. But fumble safety up against another 7-7 squad. I believe the 7-7 squad that they're up against is the highest scoring team in all of fantasy. TDs in your face. Currently, the projections favor butt fumble safety. I believe TDs in your face will win this match and move on to face Tommy Callahan's auto parts. I do believe that. Sage has said, call in Dan to relive this stream. Take the starter out. Another heartbreaking loss for Dan. Well, it was close. That's all we ask for. So we'll see what happens. We just hope everyone sets the rosters. Hard Counter Net, Team Tebow Bobble Club. They're fucking out. They're on buys as well this week. So all I gotta say is, I can't wait to hoist the Orange Bowl over my head. And it is legitimately an Orange Bowl. It is legitimately an orange that we have carved into a bowl. That is our fucking trophy. Can't wait. I cannot also wait to be done with this league because we're going to keep the juicery alive, but it's going to be an ESPN. I was actually on the phone with my mother tonight for a good hour and a half. And do you know what Mom said? Sage, I swear to God. She's like, I couldn't get into football this year. It was just... And she was bitching about the interface, Sage. I swear to God. Yahoo, literally sucks the soul out of people, man. It's fucking terrible. It's awful, man. We never should have left ESPN. I don't know whose dipshit idea it was. It certainly was not mine. I wouldn't suggest that. Everyone hates it, man. I can't wait till we're back home in ESPN. It's gonna be beautiful. Ugh, so bad, man. So bad. But congratulations to everyone that made the playoffs, and most importantly, congratulations to fourth quarter Steven for he could have folded up like a tent and said, this season's not my year, but instead persevered. He looked a bison right in the eye, and he flinched. And he charged that motherfucking bison into a fucking river. That's how my season went. I didn't flinch, Sage. I never quit. I made more moves than anyone. I made more trades than anyone. And that's the bottom line because the Thundertaker said so. You're not taking credit for my franchise saving thing. Yeah, I got Barkley. I got fucking AJ Brown. But Sage, let's not be like this, okay? Let's not take credit because I had a fucking good year, a good end of my year. Let's be fucking respectful. But good luck to everyone that is a participant. We will be back at it tomorrow. I need to piss like a racehorse. And you may take all the credit, but I need to piss. Before I piss, Jeff Passan has just reported that closer Kyle Finnegan and the Detroit Tigers are in agreement on a 2-year, $19 million contract. It is pending a physical. This is as per ESPN. He was excellent after joining the Tigers at the trade deadline last year and returns on a multi-year deal. First to report it was Robert Murray. Boom! We just broke news right before breaking piss into a fucking toilet. Have a good night, guys. We'll be back at it tomorrow.